Nick has one up.
We're in different lanes on this.
Yes.
Greg's going for the respected pastor look.
Hey, what are you and Danielle doing?
I feel like that's a little spicier look, a little someone that might try to convince you to invest some money in a sketchy fund, but promise great returns.
I'm here
so we're going for different lanes on this. That's all.
They both know what to do.
All that being said, welcome. We're so happy to have you here. Two teams sit atop the NFC West, the Rams and the Seahawks. The Rams currently at 6-2, while the Seahawks are a game behind them at 5-3. Greg, are the Rams actually better than the Seattle Seahawks?
We can't have the
You know what?
running the prison during
Making you think?
It is. This is a tough one for me because I'm all about the big brother, little brother, and Seattle tends to be the big brother in this case. But I think that the Rams believe that they can beat the Seattle bunch. When you look at game one this year, and so to answer the question, I think the Rams are better than Seattle. I do. For a lot of reasons, and one being because I'm sold on Coach Sean McVay. Having the opportunity to speak with him during their bye week, he flat out gets it. Like it's more to football than just playing the game. A lot of times teams are beat because schematically they don't go into the game really believing that they're going to be able to overcome or beat their opponent. Everyone thinks that they can, bearing things take place and go their way. But Coach Sean McVay, he said a couple things during their bye week that were impressive to me. You know, we haven't even really gelled. You know, I haven't really been able to get the ball to my guys. And I'm thinking, man, you've been doing a great. And he was talking more, Sammy Watkins, I need to get him more involved. He understands what he has, and the guys have bought into his system. And if you take away the last matchup that they had this season, the first matchup that they had, where Todd Gurley gets the touchback when he's reaching over the goal line, Seattle defender makes a great play, they possibly win that game.
Yes.
They possibly win that game. And I just believe, even though there's a big brother mentality there where it's like Seattle is the big brother and we've always beat up on you, I don't believe that the Los Angeles Rams feel that way.
Yeah, the big brother, little brother thing, it's real in the NFL. But the Rams, they don't have the fear of your big brother. You know, there's like, I got several big brothers. And I respect them, but they know, man, I'm about fighting, and I will fight. So the Rams, the first game, Seattle won, but the Rams were up 10-0. And the confidence that they've been able to build going head-to-head, because they've been playing them for years.
And they've been successful.
Yes. So I believe it is going to carry over, but we talk about a one-game neutral site. Which team would win? I got to go with Carolina. I mean, I got to go with Seattle. The reason why, because they've done it more. All right? I give the Rams credit. McVay's done a great job. He's turned this team around. One of the Coach of the Year candidates. One of the great stories. When you can affect a roster the way he has as a head coach, especially the quarterback, when you resurrect a guy that we were talking about being a bust, and now he is a legitimate NFL upper echelon quarterback in the system that they're running and how they affect defenses, those are real bricks and mortar that you can build around. But Seattle, when it comes down to it, Russell Wilson will make a play or two to make them that much better. Now, if they have to go to L.A. to play, Seattle, we know they're a different team on the road. Seattle's roster. Do I prefer that roster over the Rams roster? I probably do. But the Rams are right on the heels of Seattle. Don't look back, because the Rams will pass them. And the ability to build Todd Gurley, I believe that might separate these organizations. Seattle, they can't run the ball. And if Todd Gurley keeps running the ball the way they are, because it makes the offense so much easier for Goff and the other wide receivers are skilled players.
And they're not just on their heels. Over the last 8 games, these two teams are actually split at 4-4. So they matched up really well.
Right, and that's, by the way, prior to this year, those were bad Rams teams and great Seattle teams that the Rams were splitting with. So the Rams, that was a trip to Seattle, never want to take. Back when it was to St. Louis, that crummy dome on that turf, like the Rams had good fortune there. Here's the thing, I'm going to do something I don't like to do.
Work
and
out?
I'm going to go. No, come on, let's not be
Exercise,
crazy.
eat healthy?
Conservative pastor?
No, I'm not going to do any of that.
Someone else?
I'm going to go against what all the numbers are saying. Listen, the Rams, numerically, you can make an argument the best team in the NFL.
This is a new trick, Nick.
What? I'm just being honest. I'm going to explain why I'm going against the numbers, okay? Because numerically, I got it right here. Rams, #1 offense, top 10 defense. They are potent, like you were saying. People are afraid of the running game, but because they added Sammy Watkins and Robert Woods, they got that kid Cooper Kupp. And by the way, that Cooper Kupp is maybe that he had a catch right in the end zone, right? Then it's a totally different season for them. I understand all that, and I understand Seattle. The offense has been mediocre. The defense has been good, but not choke you out great like we thought it was going to be. I get all of it. I still believe in Seattle. And I still believe, we talked about the 7 teams in the NFC. One of them's going to be left without a chair. You have Philly and Dallas in the East. You have Minnesota alone in the North. You have New Orleans and Carolina in the South. And you have Seattle and the Rams out West. One of those teams not making the playoffs. I think it'll be the Los Angeles Rams. Not because they're not a really good team. I think, let me add one thing, Jen, as you shake your head. The Rams have, coming up after this week, the toughest 6-game schedule anyone's got. After this week, home against Houston. Give them 7-2. At Minnesota. Home for New Orleans. At Arizona. Home for Philly. At Seattle. At Tennessee. That's not a bad team to be found there.
The reason why I don't mind that, though, is because they believe in who they are. So you saying they have one of the toughest schedules remaining? Teams got to face them. That's their mentality. You got to
you can't
beat
phone
us.
in that victory.
Absolutely, not anymore. And their defense is really starting to click even more this year than what they had.
Aaron Donald's great.
Absolutely.
They got all the measurables.
I just like. Don't get me wrong. We get caught up a lot of times in. And I do too, in what we've seen, the work, what have you done for me lately? And with the Seattle Seahawks, they are one of those teams where if you you're a betting man, so I get it. If you have to put your money down on a team, it's one of those teams where you typically want to just slide your money. Absolutely, you're more comfortable there. But when I'm listening to Sean McVay, he literally has shifted my opinion of that Los Angeles organization, that Rams, let me be specific with the Los Angeles, the Rams organization and where they're headed.
Yeah, he was in the studios in L.A. last week, and he had conversations with them. What he's telling you as a conservative pastor, don't put your money on the teams, put your money in the offering plate, son. Believe in God.
All right, Greg, stick around. Coming up, are the Steelers the best team in the NFL? That is next on First Things First.
And Greg spends one afternoon with Sean McVay, stares into those steely blue eyes.